If you are looking to buy a brand new gaming PC or you're looking to upgrade your CPU, then you came to the right video. In this one, I will show you the top 5 best CPUs for gaming, content creation, productivity work, and more. By the end of the video, you will know which processor to buy depending on your budget and needs. Now, the links to every CPU mentioned today and bonus ones for production work and 3D rendering will be down below in the video description with the latest prices and availability in your region. That being said, it doesn't matter how much money you have to spend in a new CPU or what you're looking for, today I got you covered. My name is Valentino, let's start. But before, let's hear a word from today's sponsor, AMD. Specifically the S800 4K webcam. If you want better image quality in your streams, Zoom calls, or even YouTube videos, having a good webcam is crucial. The S800 can record at 4K 30 FPS or 1080p 60 FPS depending on which one you prefer. Now, I recommend using it for 4K if you want the best image quality, but if you want to stream esports games like Fortnite or Valorant, then using the 1080p 60 FPS mode might be ideal for a smoother looking stream or gameplay. The image quality is great and it also supports HDR, AI face autofocus, a noise cancelling microphone, and more features. Inside the box you get the webcam, of course, and then you get an USB 3.0 for lossless transmission, which by the way is plug and play. No need to install any drivers, and then you also get user manuals in case you need them. Now, you can customize everything inside of their AMD Link software, including the focus mode, and you can also change the framing grid to make sure that you're in frame and everything's symmetrical. Then you can change the filters in case you want a different color vibe. You have plenty to choose from, by the way, and if you want different colors, you can customize this yourself by changing the brightness, contrast, sharpness, saturation, and just anything really. You can also flip your camera and change the HDR option to your liking. Now, we all know that pricing is quite important, and while many 4K webcams charge about $200 US, the AMD S800 goes for around $110 for a limited time deal, or you can get the special bundle which comes with a tripod and good lighting, which is amazing for streaming or recording. If you're interested in this webcam, right now is an amazing time to buy it once again because of the limited time discount, and you can find the link to this exact same webcam down below in the video description. Is going to be the top link. Before I show you specific CPUs for your budget and needs, first I want to explain how to find the right CPU without a bottleneck. For you to understand, CPUs are like the brain of the computer and new ones come out every year, so it might be hard how to pick the right one. And of course, that's why I am making this list. However, it is very important for you to understand that the graphics card is very important in this decision as well. You need the right graphics card alongside your CPU, because even if you buy the fastest CPU today, maybe it is not right for your graphics card, creating a bottleneck. So that's why every time I mention a CPU today, I will mention the ideal graphics card and the maximum graphics card I would pair with that CPU. That way you can enjoy the full experience without any bottlenecks or any FPS drops if you want to do gaming. Now, starting with the number 5, we have the best budget CPUs for gaming in the i5-12400F and Ryzen 5 5600. Both of these are very similar and you can pair them with really high-end graphics cards in the market like the RX 7800 XT if you want to, for you to achieve a high to ultra settings gaming experience at 1440p. And you can also play esports games at 1080p like Fortnite or Valorant and achieve over 200 FPS on average. That being said, the ideal graphics card for these CPUs are the Intel Arc B580 or RTX 4060 if you have more money, or RX 7600 XT if you want to go AMD. And the maximum graphics card I will pair with these CPUs is the RX 7800 XT or RTX 4070. And as I said before, both of these CPUs perform very similarly, so just pick the one that makes sense the most for you. At number 4, we have the Ryzen 7 5700X3D or i5 13600K. Now, both of these CPUs are amazing. However, I would only recommend you buying one of them if you already have a gaming PC and you're looking to upgrade. Let's say you are already on the AM4 platform and you have a CPU like the Ryzen 5 5600 or Ryzen 5 3600. Well, in that case, if you're looking to upgrade your CPU, I recommend you upgrading to the Ryzen 7 5700X3D. And if you have an Intel CPU already, let's say you have an i5-12400F or maybe you have an i3-12100F, then I do recommend you upgrading to the i5-13600K. Both of these CPUs will perform similarly for gaming, and they are actually very nice, and you can pair them with just any graphics card in the entire market. And the good thing about this Intel CPU right here is that it's very good for content creation and productivity work as well. In terms of gaming performance, you can expect well over 240 FPS on average when it comes to esports games at 1080p, possibly even 360 plus FPS depending on your CPU and depending on the game that you are playing. Now, the ideal graphics card, in my opinion, for these CPUs are the RX 7800 XT or RTX 4070 or RTX 4070 Super if you have more money to spend. And then the maximum graphics card I would pair with these CPUs are the RTX 4070 Ti Super or RX 7900 XT, which both of them are amazing when it comes to gaming. In fact, I have this i5-13600K with an RTX 4070 Ti, and it works perfectly fine for gaming and content creation. But once again, I want to make this clear, do not buy these CPUs if you are building a PC from scratch. If you already have a system and you want to upgrade your CPU, then one of these are going to be amazing if you are on the AM4 platform or if you have an Intel 12th gen processor. But if you're building from scratch, I recommend you getting the next CPUs, which are the Ryzen 5 7600 or Ryzen 7 7700X. The Ryzen 5 7600 is one of the best value price to performance gaming CPUs in the entire market. It goes for under $200 by the time of filming, and it provides excellent performance for gaming, and it is also very future-proof because you are on the AM5 platform, which means that let's say down the line you want to upgrade your CPU to the fastest CPU in the entire market today in the Ryzen 7 9800X3D, you can upgrade without having to upgrade your motherboard, of course, if your motherboard is good enough right now. On top of that, you get DDR5 memory, which is the fastest memory today, and overall this CPU is going to be amazing for esports games or just any type of game you want to play depending on your graphics card. And then the Ryzen 7 7700X is a bit more expensive at around $280 by the time of filming. Now the price might be different when you're watching this video, so I do recommend you checking the latest prices and availability in your region from the links in the description. However, the 7700X is not as good in terms of price to performance because it's around $80 more expensive and will give you slightly faster gaming performance, not by a lot. However, it's an 8-core processor instead of a 6-core processor, which means that it might age better, and on top of that, it is better when it comes to productivity work and content creation applications. That being said, if you have more money to spend and you want the better overall CPU, the 7700X is your best option. But if you just want the best price to performance for gaming, the Ryzen 5 7600 is amazing. And the ideal graphics card, in my opinion, for any of these CPUs is the RX 7900 XT or RTX 4070 Ti Super from Nvidia. And the maximum graphics card is the RX 7900 XTX or RTX 4080 Super. I wouldn't pair it with the RTX 4090 because at that point you are spending so much money on your graphics card that I do recommend you upgrading your CPU as well. Now at my number 2 we have the Ryzen 9 7950X. This is one of the best CPUs if you want to do gaming and content creation at the same time or just any type of production work. So if you are a creator and you also want a really fast gaming CPU, and I'm talking about a top of the line, one of the highest end CPUs in the market, then this is going to be the right choice for you. It is very powerful for any type of task and there's no limit when it comes to graphics cards. You can pair it with the RTX 4090 or even RTX 5090, which is coming soon, and the ideal graphics card in my opinion is going to be the RTX 4070 Ti Super or RTX 4080 Super. The reason why I would pair this CPU with these high-end Nvidia graphics cards is because usually these Nvidia GPUs work better when it comes to production work and content creation, and AMD GPUs are okay with that, but they are usually better when it comes to price to performance for gaming, not so much when it comes to price to performance for content creation. So very fast CPU. This one is quite expensive at around $500 500 USD by the time of filming, so it's one of the most expensive CPUs out there, but it is also, in my opinion, the most complete CPU in the entire market. But then at my number 1 we have the fastest CPUs in the market in the Ryzen 7 7800X3D or 9800X3D. Now the 9800X3D is actually slightly faster than the 7800X3D, but it is out of stock everywhere, and if you can find it in stock, it's usually very expensive at around $650 US, which I wouldn't recommend you buying at that price point unless you just want the fastest gaming PC overall and you have no limits when it comes to your spending. Now the 7800X3D is going for around $470 USD, and it is the second fastest CPU in the entire market. It is actually slightly slower than the 9800X3D, however most people will not notice the difference while gaming, so if you cannot find the 9800X3D in stock, or if you think that it's way too expensive, which is way too expensive, but you're not willing to spend the extra 200 bucks, the 7800X3D is a really solid option still, and I would recommend you buying that one instead if you want to save those 200 bucks and still get one of the fastest gaming processors in the entire market. And the ideal GPU for these CPUs, either the 9800X3D or 7800X3D, is going to be the RTX 4090 or RTX 5090, which is coming soon, as I said before. However, if you're looking for the best value esports CPU and GPU combo, you can get the RTX 4070 for example, or 4070 Super or RX 7800XT, which are much cheaper than the RTX 4090 or 4080, and they will provide excellent performance for esports games. So if you're looking to play at 500 plus FPS on average for you to feed a 500Hz monitor, then getting one of these graphics cards, which are not the most expensive ones in the market, and pair them with the fastest CPUs in the market will give you that very solid gaming performance in these esports games competitive settings. Remember that the prices might change, so if you're looking to buy a new CPU, I recommend you checking the links from the video description for the latest pricing and availability. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.